Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for this video. In today's demonstration, I'm going to be showing you how to work with this particular flower, and this is Lily of the Valley, and it's from the month May. Now, you might be looking at this die set, there's 7 dies on here, and thinking, well, how does this construct a flower? How does it work together? We've got these shaped petals, we've got these ones. I'm going to show you exactly how we do all of this, because I had the exact same thought as soon as I saw it, but it all becomes clear, and the way it's been designed is so innovative and bespoke. It really is a die set on its own because there's no other quite like it. So what I've done is I've cut a few of these out in white. So we've got some white cuts here of those dies I've just shown you. So you can see down here we've got these ones I've cut out in different white foams, and we've also got these ones, and these are going to make up your flowers. So these two and these two are your flowers, and you've got your stamen here at the top, your foliage, and another embossed foliage as well. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to work with the slightly larger one. Now you've got these here. These are tabs at the top, okay? So you've got 3 here, then you've got 4 at the bottom. So we're going to work with the top, and that's where we're going to apply our adhesive. So I'm going to use hot glue for this, tiny blob at the top, and just fold it over like this. Okay, so you're folding it over, which creates like a little corner. Okay, and we're going to do the exact same with the other one, like that. Okay, and loop that one over. So we've automatically got ourselves like a little sort of corner shelf unit sort of piece there, as they've lapped over one another, and it bends and bows out the foam. But of course we want to complete this full circle, and the way that had to be done was the die had to be a slightly different shape to create this, which is where this one comes into play. Okay, so it's the one that's the M shape. Now with these, what you're then going to want to do is fold these in like this, okay, and do the same with the other one. So a slight bit of hot glue underneath there and loop that around as well. So we've created a very similar shape. Now what will happen is this will then interlock inside here like this. Okay, so this one actually sits inside, which creates that beautiful little snowdrop petal. Okay, so I'm going to take some hot glue underneath here like this and pop that inside. Okay, so that's all put together, and then we're going to take some hot glue and just sort of press the top in like this to seal that edge. And it's so unique how that die set's been created, because it allows you to be able to get that perfect full circle shape that stands proud of itself like this, but they've done it in 2 dies so you can actually get the full proper shape you need. We're then going to take some of our Fleurs wire, so I'm going to add a bit of hot glue just to the tip of this one. I'm going to pick up my stamen with it just like that and wrap it round, okay? And then I'm going to take a little bit more glue just towards the end. So we've created that little flag shape you can see there. Then I'm just going to roll this round like that and pinch it together. So we've created our stamen on the edge, and then just before I actually add this into my flower, I'm just going to spread these stamens out a little bit just to shape them slightly, okay? Then I'm going to take my foam mat. Now you could use polystyrene or just any sort of dense board for this to pierce through. Taking my wire and pierce straight through the flower, okay? Bit of hot glue at the top of the stamen here. And then we're going to take that straight down, and there we have our first petal shape here. Okay, so that's got all of the stamens in there, the full circle. Now of course these 2 other ones, you might be wondering what they do. They do the exact same thing but in a different size. So the smaller shape with a smaller strip as well create the same petal as this, but it means you've got a variation of sizes, so you can create the really realistic sprays of that lily of the valley. Okay, so what we're going to do now is combine it all together. So the first one I created, when I was thinking of how to actually show you this, is I thought, right, we'll start off with a really long one on a really long wire, and then we can snip it down to whatever length we need afterwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my finger and thumb to shape this, okay? So I'm just going to glide up the wire like this, just to bend it like that, so it hangs nicely. I'm going to pick another one, and I'm just going to pick different ones that I've actually made and start to intertwine them all together like this and wrap them around that central first stem. Now this is where you can sort of have a play with it and experiment which ways they want to hang, how they're going to fall, different things like that, because every single time it will look different. So I'm going to wrap these around the stem here, and I'm just using my Fleurs wire for this. I'm not using any adhesives for this part. And then we're just going to shape them all round as they're starting to hang like this, okay? So I'm going to take some more. And you can see here, this is one of the smaller sets. So that's created our smaller petal here. And I'm just going to keep working up with different ones, wrapping them round, intertwining them and interlocking them. Okay. And any areas that become a little bit sort of thick with wire, you can just pinch it with your tweezers or your pliers if you want to. I think I'm going to intertwine another one just here like this. So I'm going to wrap that one round there, like that. Oops, one of mine's just fallen off. I can put that back on. If I take this one again, all I'm going to do, if I want to replace that, I've not wrapped it around quite enough time. So if I just straighten that out a little bit, I can then pop it. Let's put it around about here like that. Okay, so then I can wrap this around again, just a few more times to keep it in place, and then I can start to mold all of these and shape them how I want them to look. So it's starting to look really, really nice actually. I've got one left here. I'm going to do it a little bit closer to the stem with this one. Just wrap it around. I would usually like to wrap it around at least 4 times to get it so that it's actually wrapped around quite tightly there. So you can see that's all of the lily of the valleys, and as to the side they hang down like that, so you can see the back of them, they hang really, really nicely. Then of course you've got your foliage with this one. It comes in 2 different sizes, so you've got these small strip ones here and you have the larger one, so you can combine the 2 to build up the thickness and fullness of the stems that you're creating. But with just a bit of hot glue, just to add these on, we're going to then cover that stem in the centre. But as you look at these sort of flowers, they don't always have thick foliage towards the top. There's a lot around the base. So I'm just going to add these in where I feel like it wants a filler. Just around here. And then of course, if you do have your Fleurs tapes, you can wrap these around the stems in the centre. What I'm going to do with this one here, just to show you, if you've not wrapped it around enough and you do have one that's moving a little bit like this, I'm just going to add a blob of hot glue just there to hold it in place, and then if you wanted to add your tapes afterwards, that would cover any of those glues that you've placed onto there. So I'm just going to quickly let that dry, and it'll set quite quickly because of course we've used our hot glue again. I'm going to take one more of my leaf here and quickly just shape it outwards. I'm going to just add it to the bottom there like that. So I've got a nice collection of foliage at the bottom there. Just going to curl that one round. And you can see that's how you create the lily of the valley flowers. So you could create this really broad. This would be really nice for fillers within wreaths or garlands, that sort of thing. And you can colour these in whichever way you wanted to if you wish. But I've just done it in the white just to show you really the construction of how you work with this die set. Thank you for joining me for that demonstration of how to construct your May lily of the valley flower. So do join me for the next demonstration. Thank you.